election season, and you're going to have presidential rallies. Mm-hmm. We saw one already. You're going to have multiple more from both candidates that are going to be indoor. I think there will be using that as a case study. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%.
And you can make the joke that it wasn't full, whatever, but I mean, still, if there's 15,000 people, 10,000 people in an indoor arena at a presidential rally cheering, I think that will be a case study. And it sounded like the governor there was very much like, well, outdoor events were even less worried. Mm-hmm. So I could see that 50% number. And again, this is state by state. So, but I could see that 50% number raising. I mean, yesterday, what they announced, no deaths and a lower number that's been lower.
Okay, so you're saying 50%, you could see that raising here in Kentucky.
Yeah, I can't speak for other states.
And you know what? I had to wrap my mind around it. That's the only place we really care about is Kentucky.
because Florida may say, no, we can have 100. Tennessee may say, no, we can have 80, 90, 100. Because that kind of come to my mind when we were talking about that a minute ago. But when we were talking about others, because I was kind of putting everybody at 50, but the more I think about it, I'm like, well, unless the NCAA, and they're sure as heck not going to come out and put a uniform thing out, because that would be too much of a leader decision to make. And they're not going to make a leader decision. They're going to make the commissioners and the ADs make that decision.
So they're responsible, legally responsible for anything.
Yes. So state by state could be different, but I think the way he talked, that 50 may be a little higher by the time we even get to NC State.
And listening to,
I assume that means Derby too. By the way, I would assume that's 50% with the Derby.
You listen with the numbers we're getting as far as outdoor events.
Yeah.
That's kind of opening up.
Yeah.
So you think the Derby will be halfway filled?
Yeah, I think all these events will be halfway filled. Yeah, I do. Because here's the thing. People forget, and this is one argument I've made. People say, I know a ton of people that won't go. Well, I agree. But I think even with voter turnout.
It's my Twitter argument too. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
I think you forget how many people there are. What's the, Brian, will you look up real quick, what's the population of Jefferson County? If you could look that up for me. I appreciate that, man. Just listen to this now, and I don't actually know it right off the top of my head. So, Brian, if it's low, just look at me and go, never mind.
No, the population is 766,757. That was as of the end of 2019.
766,000 people in Jefferson County.
Jefferson County.
There's a lot of human beings walking around this planet.
And you know what? Happy human beings don't complain on social media.
No. Yeah, no, you don't get somebody that's just happy with life that's going to be like, well, I feel like today I'm going to go to Twitter and I'm going to tell this guy what I think about him. That's not a practice.
Like person that's excited about things opening up is not really talking on Twitter.
No, I'm not going to go to Twitter and go, ha ha, I'm going out to eat. Okay.
Why are you doing a diabolical laugh, Steve?
Because I feel like that's what some people do on Twitter. Like, I feel like they're like, oh, we screenshotted something to rummage. Gotcha. Well, I put it on Facebook, so I obviously don't care that you saw it. So.
Do they say gotcha at the end of it?
I know, I put it on a public forum, so obviously not really that worried about you seeing it. But it's like, people don't do that. And when you read that, 760-some thousand people in Jefferson County alone, that's crazy, So there's a lot of people. So you're telling me that you don't think that there might not be 10, 15, I'll do 15, from Jefferson County alone that won't go to the game? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you've got a good tax. You've got to account for the 20 or well, at least the 2,500 UK fans that will come. Great text. So, I mean, it's like you don't think you're not.
I mean, you're making mathematical sense.
Do you not think NC State isn't going to have at least 4,000 people that aren't going to come? 3,000. I'll say 3. It's just
they're not allowed. COVID. Nope. NC State fans.
Yeah. No, I'm okay all year.
State your own fans.
None of it. Florida State, maybe. That would be funny.
What to hope to?
Yeah.
Right. The Florida thing.
Yeah, it's getting a little Lexington. It's getting a little crazy.
Seeing a little spiking area.
Right. So, yeah, man. I think that 50% excited me. I think because I think that number could grow by then. But even if it doesn't, 50% for me would be good. Okay, now my question to you, real quick. 50% or 100% with face covering? What do you choose?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I was doing a radio show with a face covering, so.
Yeah. I think I would pick that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would pick that too. Even though I do think that they're making the point that outdoors, that may be more of an issue indoor.
Yeah. That's going to be a basketball
conversation. Yeah, where you say, okay, maybe face covering. Plus, I mean, it's a lot to ask people to sit outside in the heat at the beginning of the season with face covering. Like that would be tough. Wintertime, heck, I feel like most of the time I have one. Right. Yeah, I welcome a mask in the wintertime. So, but yeah, basketball, that may be a conversation. Even though I don't know that they can do that because it would be so tough to police. Because now, okay.
No, they'll self-police.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. There's a lot of self-police now. I know. They're coming.
Something's coming through the door, people. We're going to have to take a quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 9th through 9th Ville.
This is Major General Charles Bolden. I've been a Marine, an astronaut, and I led NASA under President Obama. I also grew up in segregated Columbia, South Carolina, so I know what this moment means for our country. It's why it's so important that Amy McGrath be the Democratic nominee for Senate against Mitch McConnell. I've known Amy since her first year at the Naval Academy, and I've flown with her in an F-18 Hornet. I've been privileged to watch Amy grow up and become a strong leader who understands that everyone deserves the chance to succeed. I also know that the polls show Amy is the only Democrat beating Mitch McConnell. And for the good of our nation, that really is what's most important of all. Our country needs Amy, and your vote will make a real difference in this election. I hope you'll join me in strongly supporting Democrat Amy McGrath for U.S. Senate.
I'm Amy McGrath, candidate for Senate, and I'm honored to approve this message.
Paid for by Amy McGrath for Senate.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
Kentucky sports radio host Matt Jones is tired of the Washington establishment telling Kentuckians who our candidates should be. That's why he's speaking up and endorsing Charles Booker, a real Democrat, for U.S. Senate.
Hey, this is Matt checking in. After a lot of thought, I'm voting for Charles Booker. And here's why. I've watched him for the last few weeks take on a leadership role that is exactly the type of person I want fighting for Kentuckians in Washington. Most important to me, he agrees that no matter where you're born in Kentucky, whether like me, you're in the hills of Appalachia, or you're on the west end of Louisville, that you deserve a chance to reach your potential and to have success equally to everyone else. And that's what Charles fights for. So, when it comes time for me to cast my mail-in ballot, I'm voting for Charles Booker.
I'm Charles Booker, and I'm running for United States Senate, and I approve this message. Let's lift our voices on June 23rd.
Paid for by Booker for Kentucky.
Something on your mind? Hit us up on the UPS Jobs text line, 3831-939.
What would I call a menu where you pick 2 or more things for just $6 each? Picks for 6. Boom! Look at me coming up with names. Featuring sizzling papadillas, melty medium 1-topping pizza, brownies, cookies, and more. Papa John's new Picks for 6 menu is loaded with all my personal favorites. I mean, it's kind of my menu. The new Picks for 6, where you pick 2 or more items for $6 each, only at Papa John's. Prices, participation, and qualifying menu items may vary.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502-494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Rolling. So makes you realize you got a lot more returning offensive line talent than you thought.
Yeah, well, you do. I mean, we know that though. I don't think it makes you realize that. I mean, I think you realize that. Look, I mean, you lost Mekhi, which is huge. I'm not saying that like Mekhi was awesome, but I mean, you brought in a lot of guys. You watched your team run the football consistently against an SEC defense without Mekhi Becton. You watched them run the football well in the ACC without Mekhi Becton. I mean, you remember Mekhi Becton missed a game or two, maybe 2, didn't he? I can't remember. He went down against Miami.
Did he go down early against Miami?
Yeah, and he missed a couple games, or he missed at least a game after that. So I mean, we know that there can be life after Mekhi Becton, though. It's okay to say both. He's a big loss, but we can also live without him too. And then when you have guys that got reps like that, you bringing in a guy in Trevor Reed that you feel like was one of the top 2 JUCO offensive linemen. You're bringing in the Cam DeGeorge kid from UConn, who was a 2-year starter at a Division I. What's UConn? AAC? Are they AAC?
Yeah, they're the AAC.
So it's not Power 5, but 2-year starter at a college.
Still a Division I school.
Yeah, at a high level Division I school.
Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to mid-major. There's pieces there. I think Cole Bentley. I mean, I've been saying his name for 3 years. I mean, Wake Forest, he didn't play. Really? Mackay didn't play against Wake Forest.
Mackay didn't play against Wake Forest. I don't agree with that.
I don't know.
I don't believe that.
I think he played against Wake Forest. But
I'll see if there's anything. I'll try to see.
Go to the YouTube condensed and see if he's on there.
Regardless, though, I mean, you've watched the line, and then the pieces you're bringing in. There's pieces that have been setting out. I mean, no, I feel confident, man. I feel confident with it. And I feel confident that there's a system in place. Also, don't forget, getting Ian Pfeiffer back was one that went under the radar.
He applied, right?
For his waiver.
Yeah, for waiver.
And he got his waiver. And we'll check Texas. If Texas right, I mean, I'll apologize. I'll say you're right. I think he played, but
He did, because I went and I just put in Mackay Becton Wake Forest. The very first thing that pops up is a video talking about Mackay Becton's pass pro protection versus Wake Forest.
Wait a minute.
And it's dated April 14th, 2020. So maybe not. I don't know.
Didn't Satterfield chest bump Becton? Like, isn't that the
Well, it says April 14th, 2020, so that means it was posted this year, so it would have been from last season, I would assume.
Yeah. Either way, though, I mean, Mackay played. You're good, man. Either way,
I'm watching the condensed. He played.
Yeah. But he was out a couple games. But the point is we have.
And I thought that stat was wrong, because I'm like, there's no way we beat Wake Forest without
I was like, geez, man, really?
Like, I had no idea if he played or not, but I'm like, no, because we won.
You're like making our point about how we can win without Mackay Becton. We're like, well, no, we totally had him in that game. We couldn't have won without him.
We wouldn't have won that game.
Actually, you know what I said? I was about to be like, how did he get picked so high?
By missing so many games?
Yeah, like, he played. Okay, but here's the point. Ian Pfeiffer played tackle at
Vanderbilt, yep.
He come in last year. He played really well at tight end for us. I think he caught a couple touchdowns. But you get him back. We already know how good of a blocker Marshawn Ford is. You have Des Fitzpatrick, who I think is one of the top 3 blocking receivers in America right now. It's there. Like, it's there to have another big-time running game. The fullbacks are back. You feel comfortable with all that. So I don't think they're going to have a hard time replacing.
How big of a deal you think it is for them to change the channel? Change the channel.
Just turn it off.
Why did you do that?
I just turned it off because I don't have a remote. They're moving everything around. Nobody knows where remotes and stuff are.
Yeah, we need to get that during the break. Players, are they worried about fans? Like just kind of are they hype about that conversation?
Yeah, I think they want them.
You think that's a big deal? Oh, there's no question they want them.
Yeah.
But are they occupied with that at all?
No, but I think.
Because I can see myself sitting around the dorms like, dog, if we don't have no fans, man, it's going to be a weakest,
There probably is some of that. I mean, there's no way to really know, unless you're talking with them. But, I mean, there probably is some of that. Yeah, there's probably some of that. But I do
think they're having that conversation?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I still think you're trying to put on for scouts. I mean.
Put on film. Yeah, your identity is your film. I know they're focused on that thing. Okay, so just kind of clean up the 50% conversation, 50% capacity conversation.
Yeah, is what we know at this point will be the least amount of fans is for Louisville. That would be what, 31 something thousand. So I mean, that's
what if we hadn't expanded?
I'm glad we did. Now,
okay. So, are we saying just like courteous masks is the rule?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's a rule. I mean, you're doing the 6 feet apart.
Okay,
they're doing families, groups 6 feet apart. So I mean, I don't think there's a need for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think that's your choice. I mean,
What about concessions?
Sure. Yeah.
I got a better question.
Love it.
What about the people who have seats in the flight deck and try to move down because there's multiple open chairs?
They're probably going to be a lot more. Yeah, that's probably not going to be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, right.
Because they're going to be like, look how many seats are down there. We can find somewhere to sit and nobody will say anything.
Yeah, that's going to be.
And then it's just going to be a crowded lower bowl and no upper deck.
There's no way they'll let that happen. They'll police that strongly. I think you'll have a very strong policy of you can't walk in without showing your ticket. You know, whereas now it's kind of like, they can't really tell. You walk in, sitting there with my buddy. And, I mean, there's times you get a call from somebody's like, hey, man, I got 4 season tickets. Come down and sit with me,
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be pockets where people like, we're family.
Right. So I just don't think that there will be that's a good one. I could see the flight deck being closed. And now, again, the flight deck's not the party deck. Remember that. Now, we're talking about the flight deck, but I could see them only using the Adidas one because it's a better sight line. Use that whole end zone and use the all way around sides and maybe the flight deck.
I mean, 6 feet is what, 2 chairs? 2-3 chairs?
Yeah, probably 2-3 chairs. Probably 3. Maybe 4.
They're not going to separate you by 4 chairs. They're I don't see them going past 2. Just make sure you keep at least 2 chairs in between.
No, I think they'll do 3. They'll do 3 or 4. I think, and then stagger them in the roles. I mean, 30,000. That's a lot of people. I mean, 31,000 people is a lot of people.
After that first week, and you see some of them stadiums.
Well, I don't think 50% will last long.
Yeah.
If it's even that by the time you get to September, that number could be higher by the time you get to September. So
now you got students back on campus.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, it's a rough.
Yeah, it's like trying to hold back. Hold back the.
And you said it. Okay, we kind of were joking with the Clemson thing, whatever. But okay, let's say, what if Louisville's 4-1, ranked 20th, 19th, 18th? Because look, there's some people who are talking about Louisville may start out in the top 25. I mean, just yesterday, Sporting News released had Louisville at 22. So I mean, if you're 4-1, ranked 17th. I mean, it's really going to be like holding off the masses because now how are you going to police the people who say, well, I'm just going to tailgate then. I don't have a ticket to the game, but I'm going to the game. I'm going to go tailgate. I'm going to, so I think at some point you'll have to say, okay, we're not seeing, because if it's not bad enough that we have to shut it down, then we have to increase. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be, because the nightmare scenario is you go and then numbers go sky high or whatever. People start getting real sick. But if that hasn't happened yet, is it going to happen?
Also, the governor has, like I said, the idea of putting numbers on tickets.
Yeah.
Putting phone numbers on tickets. One other problem that needs to be corrected has absolutely nothing to do with anything we've been talking about, but it was something we've talked about a long time ago. I took a lot of heat. I think those chickens are coming home to roost.
Okay.
I think it's time for you to confess that I was right and you were wrong.
I'm interested.
And it's about to show up really, really soon.
I'm listening.
Taco Fall.
Okay. Okay.
Taco Fall. Ball is Life tweets out, Taco Fall may be the X factor of the NBA playoffs. I'm telling y'all, I can't wait till y'all are watching this NBA playoff tournament and it's LeBron against the Celtics in the finals and good old coach, what's Celtics coach name?
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens Look, listen.
So what, all he's got to do is beat out Daniel Theus?
Anthony Davis is out there working him. And Brad Stevens goes, Taco.
Yeah.
Come on in here.
Listen, I'm not bowing to that one because, I mean, look, an X Factor, yes. I mean, they almost beat Duke. They almost beat Duke with him just standing under the rim.
Yeah, they only need him to play maybe a solid 15 minutes.
Yeah, like, no. Now, if your whole argument from the beginning had been X Factor, yeah, look.
No, it starts as the X Factor. Yeah. Then you're going to realize how dominant he is.
He's never going to be that.
There's also some rumors going around that some of the teams making the playoffs are interested in signing Boogie Cousins.
Would you take Taco Fall or Boogie Cousins on your team right now?
Oh. Maybe Cousins. Is Cousins healthy? I don't know. I mean, seriously.
I mean, he's going to be, yeah.
Is he going to be?
You get seriously pumped. As a package handler, you'll have a great job. Starting pay is $14 per hour, and you can graduate debt-free with Metro College. We're also hiring CDL tractor-trailer drivers at $21 per hour and up. Find out what you'll become at upsjobs.com. That's upsjobs.com.
Follow the sports leader. We are ESPN Louisville. Download the ESPN Louisville app today. Delivered by UPS Jobs Kentucky.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you are ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maven or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
Time is running out. You have until June 30th to take advantage of Genesis Diamond's incredible offer. No money down and no interest for 5 years on anything and everything. Response has been amazing. Never has fine jewelry been so affordable. Pick anything in the showcase. Pay nothing down and get 0 interest for 5 years. How about a $5,000 Tacori or Veragio engagement ring with a GIA certified diamond as low as $85 a month? Diamond pendants as low as $35 a month. Diamond tennis bracelets from $40 a month. Breitling tag and Omega watches as low as $60 a month. It's easy and it's smart. Just pick any item at Genesis, divide the price by 60, and that's your payment with no money down. Nothing held back either. Wedding bands, eternity bands, anniversary rings, pendants, rubies, sapphires, and yes, even all GIA certified diamond engagement rings. This is Genesis Diamond's most aggressive offer ever, and Genesis will be open Sunday, June 28th for your convenience. Nothing down, no interest for 5 years, only at Genesis Diamond, Shelbyville Road Plaza. On approved credit, see store for details.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502 494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
Great job, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is Major General Charles Bolden. I've been a Marine, an astronaut, and I led NASA under President Obama. I also grew up in segregated Columbia, South Carolina, so I know what this moment means for our country. It's why it's so important that Amy McGrath be the Democratic nominee for Senate against Mitch McConnell. I've known Amy since her first year at the Naval Academy, and I've flown with her in an F-18 Hornet. I've been privileged to watch Amy grow up and become a strong leader who understands that everyone deserves the chance to succeed. I also know that the polls show Amy is the only Democrat beating Mitch McConnell. And for the good of our nation, that really is what's most important of all. Our country needs Amy, and your vote will make a real difference in this election. I hope you'll join me in strongly supporting Democrat Amy McGrath for U.S. Senate.
I'm Amy McGrath, candidate for Senate, and I'm honored to approve this message.
Paid for by Amy McGrath for Senate.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Alliance Chance Financial. Best ideas, best solutions, best results. Learn more at AllianceChanceFinancial.com. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear met with the media yesterday to give his daily coronavirus update, and he was asked if he could see stadiums at 50% capacity in the fall.
Indoor events, that would be a challenge, but I can see, again, if you can socially distance, if you can get 6 feet from a family unit in each direction. If people will wear masks, because at a sporting event, when you're standing up and you're rooting for your team, you could spread the virus like that. Then I certainly can see the opportunity for fans in the fall. When you move to an outdoor sport, we believe it's a little bit safer. Again, you have to make sure that you have the distancing.
Louisville City FC is set to kick off next month with fans as Governor Andy Beshear is going to allow Lynn Family Stadium to operate at 50% capacity with mandatory face coverings, proper social distancing, and temperature screenings. On to football, Louisville has picked up yet another recruit in their 2021 class. This time it's Missouri native Demetrius Cannon, who comes in as the number 82nd ranked wide receiver in the class, according to 247 Sports. He's listed at 6'3", 205 pounds, and chose the Cards over offers from Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Minnesota, Penn State, and Tennessee. However, while in regards to this year's team, U of L offensive coordinator Dwayne Lefford talked about the improvements he's seen his players make so far this offseason in a teleconference yesterday.
What we were last year at spring compared to where we were this year, two completely different teams. The retention is a lot better. The guys know what it is that we're asking, or they understand the schemes that we're running. And so you can just be a little bit more dialed into that and just build to expand on that a little bit now.
That full teleconference can be heard at ESPNLouisville.com. And last but certainly not least, on to hoops. Yesterday, Kentucky announced that they will begin the screening process for the basketball team on June 28th, with practice resuming sometime next week. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
time. But, like I said with myself, I think what the coaches and players are trying to do is, just stay positive and stuff like that. So, I mean, what can you do, honestly? Like, there's really no way to explain it. I mean, there's really nothing you can do. But, I mean, we're in June right now, and, you're seeing a lot of showcases that are going to start up again and open gyms. I've been to some open gyms myself, obviously with a mask on and, staying safe and social distancing. But, I mean, you're going to see more opportunities open up. Yeah, obviously there's no AAU ball and there's nothing like that, but you're going to see private gyms open with trainers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, live streams and stuff, there's going to be ways for college coaches to see it, but everyone's just trying to make the best of it, from the coaches to the players and so forth.
Have you seen any universities, talking with Jake Weingarten here, recruiting expert, have you seen any advantages or any separation between like some schools that are like, just better at doing the online recruiting thing, the stream recruiting thing, or is it all just seem about the same?
Honestly, I do think it depends the school and it depends the staff. Some schools will go all out for their presentations when it comes to Zoom calls. During the transfer process, I talked to a lot of the guys that were in the transfer portal, and they're saying, man, like, I'm transferring so I can get to the league. Like, I'm trying to get to the league faster. That's why I'm transferring. So how am I going to, call a place home when I've never even been there yet? So I had a kid, who's committed to Notre Dame now. His name's Trey Wirtz. He's from Santa Clara. He's transferring out of there. And he had a Zoom call with Ohio State. And he said, for what it's worth, it was so informative. Like, he's kind of like,
You're cutting out a bit. We couldn't hear you after Ohio State. You were cutting out.
Yeah, so he visited Ohio State virtually, like through the Zoom call, and he said it was real informative. Like, he really enjoyed what he saw, and he described it as, he felt like he was there. So, I mean, a lot of these coaches are managing to, make it feel real and, show them as much as they can, maybe hop on a golf cart and drive around campus and show the facilities. But, for what it's worth, I mean, I got to give the props to coaches. I mean, recruiting is how you keep your job ultimately. And, what the talent you're bringing in and the talent you're producing on the court, that's how these coaches keep their job. So this is a difficult time, but a lot of coaches, are doing really well in the recruiting game.
Okay, Jake, Steve Rummage here, man. We've got the pleasantries out of the way. I'm going to give you a 4-part questioning here. I want to talk about kids, I don't say kids, I mean, some of them are men that we've got here on campus, some that we have committed, some that maybe we're going to have committed, and the team right now. So I'll start with players that have gotten here. I know you were always close with Charles Menlin through his recruitment through his grad transfer recruitment and everything. Have you got any feedback whatsoever from him or Jones or anybody since they've been on campus about how that's went?
So Charles actually got on campus the day that I actually landed down there. So it was crazy. So he's transferring out of San Francisco, obviously. But with him, even if you look on his social media, on his Instagram, you can see and you can tell how excited he is, to be at a high major program and, to play in the ACC and, to be at Louisville. So, I mean, he seems pretty excited from what I've seen. Like, I haven't even had to ask him. Like, even since he committed, like, the day after, 2 days after, there's just so much excitement from him. And, for a guy that's going to step in and I think ultimately be a leader right away, great character guy on and off the court, I mean, that's a guy that you want in your system. So, I mean, these guys, obviously, to Menlin, the story is I was actually on Instagram Live, and it was about 10:20 at night. And he had already texted me saying, I'm going to commit tonight, but he was, I believe, in San Francisco, so there was a time difference. But when he texted me University of Louisville, I'm going to tell you right now, I was so surprised. Yeah. And it's not because I didn't think Mac and them could pull it off, but, you guys know I'm never really surprised with these things because, not to be cocky, but I usually know ahead of time. But, right. But with him, I knew like a few minutes before he posted it, I had some time to write a story. But, I mean, for him to text me that after, not really getting recruited by them through the process, I mean, it was a big surprise.
Okay, so now part two. And again, we'll stick with – in part two, I want to stick with just players committed.
Gotcha.
First part of this one, Bryce Hopkins, with everything that's come down about Louisville, now we've had a little bit of time to digest the possibility of what could happen over the next year or so. Have you heard anything, any vibe off of Bryce?
There were rumors that Bryce was going to decommit, but, like I told you guys, I usually know. So I obviously, I reached out to him and just was like, yeah, I know that there's rumors, but I know it's nothing because with Bryce, he does have the chance to be a one-and-done player. I mean, I told you guys when I came on after he committed and while he was visiting, this kid is literally going to end up probably a 5-star. So, I mean, when I said that, he was probably ranked late 80s, early 90s, and you look now and almost every site has him in the mid-30s. So, I mean, he's a high-tier player. Like, he really has the potential to be a one-and-done. But this is another guy who's very, very, always on social media and stuff like that. He has a custom pair of Louisville shoes that he had customized from somebody. So, I mean, it does look like there's a lot of excitement. And you look what happened when Bobby Pettiford committed.
Yeah.
I mean, Bryce excited right away. Bryce posting everything. And now that L. Ellis has an announcement upcoming and Louisville is a finalist, Bryce is posting about it. So, I mean, Bryce has, been very vocal in Louisville's recruiting. Obviously, he's the first recruit that they have in that class. So, what I always say is if you commit to a school a year early, that gives you the opportunity to help the coaching staff, recruit who you want to play with. Who does Bryce Hopkins want in his backcourt? Who does Bryce Hopkins want in his front court? Who does he want coming off the bench? And, who's that depth for him? Who's his backup? Stuff like that. So being the first recruit in a class, like if you look at Josh Nickelberry, right off the bat, Josh committed in late April and started recruiting guys right away, and boom, you get the 6 freshmen. So I mean, Bryce loves Louisville, and I think he's locked. Can't know until something happens with the NCAA. So I mean, as of now, he's locked in. And I think if you look at a guy like Cade Cunningham, who just said I'm staying at Oklahoma State, I think if it ever came down to that point with Louisville, Bryce would stay committed.
Okay, and we're talking with Jake Weingarten here. And, okay, so you kind of answered because I was going to shift off my own plan here, and I was going to mention.
Oh, my fault.
No. I was going to.
Multiple part questions are kind of crazy.
No, I know. Listen, no, I know. This is wild. But here's the thing. I was actually going to. I was saying I was going to break my own protocol here with the Cade Cunningham thing because when you mentioned Bryce Hopkins being a one and done. We had that conversation yesterday where we said, Cade Cunningham doing this, if you are a school looking at a possible violation, I think maybe that opens the door to be able to tell kids like, hey, no, you can, without the tournament, you can still come here and make the NBA. I mean, do you get any of that vibe with anybody that you've talked to?
And I mean, you just really see now you stole what I was gonna say. So we're even. We're even. Fair. Yeah, we're even. But if you look at a platform like the ACC, I mean, even if you're obviously a lot of the guys say their ultimate goal is to play in the tournament, and I'm not saying that that's BS, but at the end of the day, you know what their ultimate goal is. If you're going to a high major school, your goal is to be a professional basketball player. I mean, if you're a guy like Bryce Hopkins, 5-star, your ultimate goal and where you're likely going to end up is the NBA. So if I'm getting recruited and, Chris Mack approaches me and says, look, we want a year or a year out of the tournament, but I'm a clean coach. My record is clean. I recruit clean. I've never, broke any rules, stuff like that. You're going to play in the ACC. You're going to play at Duke. You're going to play at Kentucky. Why not have that national platform for a year, get your social media up, all that stuff, and more importantly, develop into the player that you want to be entering the NBA? Why not come here? I know you might want to play in the tournament, but what's your ultimate goal? I want to get you to achieve your dreams. You want to buy your family member a car. You want to buy your family member a house. You want to have parties with your friends. I mean, you know the goals. The goal is to get to the NBA. So, I mean, if you're a clean coach like Chris Mack, who's done an outstanding job. I mean, he's done an absolutely outstanding job. And, towards the end of the year, some losses hit. But, I mean, what other coach comes in right away, recruits 6 guys, and is instantly turning into a possible national title contender in his second year? So, I mean, Chris Mack has the pitch. He's sent guys to the league. He's a clean coach, and he has freshmen on his roster right now. He's recruited, 6-man classes. So I don't believe that, Louisville fans should be worried, especially because I feel like if something were to happen with Bryce Hopkins, it would have happened already.
Right. Okay, and now speaking of Chris Mack, word circulates, from being down here in Louisville. People start to, we talk, we know a lot about our basketball. 2 names are circulating this week. One is Gabe Wisnitzer from Hargrave and L. Ellis, JUCO out of Tallahassee. Anything you know about those two? I mean, you don't have to spill all the beans here, but just anything you've been hearing as far as those two.
Well, to answer your first question, of course I have some sort of scoop for you guys. I would never come on the show without scoop. Of course. But with Gabe Wisnitzer, there was actually a report that went out last night that he had committed, but that's false. It was quickly deleted. It wasn't even posted by him. It was posted by a local outlet by where he plays out in Virginia, I believe it was. But that report is false. I mean, I don't think he would really commit after landing an Ohio State offer 2 days before. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I think he's going to cut his list first. I may be wrong, but I've been in touch with him, and, there's so many schools out there. He's a guy, he might not even cut his list because Wisnitzer is a guy that could reclass. He has turned that down. He has shut it down. But you know how this stuff goes. Last minute, a guy can say, oh, man, we're going through a pandemic. Do I want to, go back to high school and maybe not even play? So, there's a lot of guys who are thinking about a reclass. But, Louisville offered recently. I don't think, they're going to get a commitment right away, especially because there's been so many schools involved, like the Providence or Virginia Tech. There's been schools that have been in there with him for so long that I think are still seriously pushing for him for either class. So when I heard about that report, I knew it was false. I instantly knew. And it's nothing against Coach Mack not being able to, land a guy like that. He obviously can.
Sure.
But, it didn't make sense when I heard it. So I didn't even panic. And then you move over to L. Ellis, and, that's a guy, this commitment, wherever he goes, it does mean a lot to me. There's parts of the job where it's like, man, when you say a guy in January he's going to be a future pro and he's going to have high major offers in 2 months, and it happens, you feel kind of proud about that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I covered L in January is the first time I had conversation with him and saw him play. And his only high major offers were, I believe, Ole Miss and Texas A&M. And, even then, they weren't really pushing at him hard. And I was like, man, this kid could score. I was like, man, why doesn't he have more offers? It's not like he's small. It's not like he can't defend. It's not like he's not a great leader.
Yeah.
He's proven in the high school ranks in North Carolina, one of the best basketball states out there now, that, he could play at a high level. So, once I saw this kid, I jumped right on, and I was like, this kid's a high major. So to see the finalists now compared to his recruitment in January, that kind of stuff is like, wow, like you really, you did a great job with this one. But L is great. I do think, he'll end up in the ACC. I don't want to say anything beyond that. But you guys could, it's just a prediction. But I do think he'll end up in the ACC. That's all I'll give you. That's my scoop for the day. But I do think he'll end up in the ACC. But I'm going to tell you guys regardless, I think this kid's going to get right on campus wherever he goes.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a great leader right away. When I tell you, when he found out that the JUCO tournament was canceled in March, the Hutch, he was, you could obviously, you saw that picture of Florida State when they were handed the trophy, and they were all upset. They wanted everyone just wanted to play in March. It's my personally, besides anything recruiting related, it's my favorite month of the year. My birthday's in April, and I love March more than April.
Absolutely.
So when that tournament was canceled, I was able to tell instantly this kid was so sad. And this stuff like that, it just shows he's going to come in right away, be a leader. He wants to win. And, I feel like he'll be one of those guys. You saw with Jay Scrub, obviously Jay Scrub, going to the NBA. But Jay Scrub, right when he committed, he promoted the heck out of Louisville. So, I mean, he really came in and started recruiting guys, and he probably knew he wasn't even coming, and he still recruited guys. But with L. Ellis, he's going to recruit guys to Louisville, and he knows some of the top JUCO guys. He knows guys in North Carolina, a state heavily recruited by the Cardinals. So, I mean, he's going to come in, recruit, win, play, be a leader, and go straight to the league. And it's going to be fun to watch.
Last question before we get you out of here. On this current team, who makes the biggest jump from all the freshmen?
Obviously, I'm not going to say David Johnson because, everyone has expectations on him. Sam Williamson, same for David. There's not much you could say. These guys played already. I think they'll make jumps, but, I mean, they played and, they were very impressive. Obviously, people expected a lot out of Williamson and, David Johnson. But for freshmen, I think they came in and, they did what they had to do. DJ, in limited time, he performed. I mean, honestly, I think if he came out this year, and people are going to call me crazy for this, I feel like he would find his way in an NBA roster even if he came out this year. But obviously, coming back for one more year would be the smart thing. And Williamson, I think, will be a pro after this year, maybe a year after. But I want to talk about, the two big men, and Jalen Withers and Aiden Nagahan. Because when I tell you that, Withers sat out a year, but this kid, I talked to somebody the other day that, is being recruited by Louisville, and they were like, that Jalen Withers guy could literally be a lottery pick. Like, he has that kind of ceiling. And people don't know a lot about him. I've seen him play. I've known him for 5 years. So I've seen him play when he was, 6'3", and when he was 6'10". So I've seen the leaps that he's been able to make. And when I tell you guys, Louisville fans, I mean, be ready for Jalen Withers. And then, he's 6'10", can run the floor, defend I think behind Dwayne Sutton last year, he had the chance to be the best defender on the roster. So that's the thing. Chris Mack loves his defense, and Reed Ben used it at some times last year. So I think Withers being 6'10" and being versatile and all that, I think he's going to come in and be an impact. He could start right away. And then you talk about Aiden Nagahan. Everyone, once again, had super high expectations. But I think, obviously he was hurt a few times. And obviously, he's 6'10", 250. He needs to come in and perform right away. But, in high school, it's different from college. It's a big adjustment. But, I mean, I've seen Aiden during the off-season, and you might think this isn't possible. Your jaw might drop when I say this, but he got stronger. So I don't know any other way I could really explain it, but he got stronger, and he's working on post moves. He's working on, how he could be a presence in the paint. So putting all that together, him, Withers, and then you have Malik Williams, and, you have all these guys that you're inserting. People are saying, there's a lack of depth. It's obviously going to be different without Jordan Wara, but I think this team still has the potential to win the ACC tournament.
Well, Jake, once again, you've delivered. You've left our listeners speechless, and we appreciate you anytime you want to jump in, man. And looking forward to having you back in the studio.
And if there's anything, man, we can promote, man. Twitter, website.
Yes,
let
right
us know
now.
Where to find
Let
you.
everybody know.
So I'm actually, I've announced this on Instagram and somewhat on Twitter, but stockrisers.com is actually going to enter a phase. It's about to enter F5 network. So my site has a full renovation. There's actually going to be a window where you'll be able to subscribe and get premium content and stuff like that. So, it's exciting times, through everything going on in our world right now that I speak about all the time. Like there's more than basketball, going on right now all over the world. And there's just so much going on. And, I don't want to promote during such crazy times, but, when there's times where people are down, I should just try to be positive. So I hope my work sometimes, being able to talk about basketball and, help that. So stockrisers.com and, Twitter. And my DMs on Twitter are open. I have conversations with people all the time, and sometimes it's not even about basketball. So, I mean, I'm pretty open, whether it's basketball, life, anything anyone wants to talk about. So stockrisers.com and, my Twitter's at Jake Weingarten. So if anyone ever wants to have a conversation, feel free to, DM me and we'll chat it up. We'll chop it up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, Jake, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to getting you back in the city, man. Keep up the good work.
Oh, me too. I hope I see you guys soon. Stay safe out there, all right?
Absolutely.
Same, my friend.
That was Jake Weingarten. And obviously, people, he didn't mean that. He said Ellis is just being in the ACC. So we have that one. I tell you what, we'll take a quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
Mark Ennis here, telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288, or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn experts I trust. They're professional, affordable. Bosch Lawn Care.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
This is Major General Charles Bolden. I've been a Marine, an astronaut, and I led NASA under President Obama. I also grew up in segregated Columbia, South Carolina, so I know what this moment means for our country. It's why it's so important that Amy McGrath be the Democratic nominee for Senate against Mitch McConnell. I've known Amy since her first year at the Naval Academy, and I've flown with her in an F-18 Hornet. I've been privileged to watch Amy grow up and become a strong leader who understands that everyone deserves the chance to succeed. I also know that the polls show Amy is the only Democrat beating Mitch McConnell. And for the good of our nation, that really is what's most important of all. Our country needs Amy, and your vote will make a real difference in this election. I hope you'll join me in strongly supporting Democrat Amy McGrath for U.S. Senate.
I'm Amy McGrath, candidate for Senate, and I'm honored to approve this message.
Paid for by Amy McGrath for Senate.
This is Luke Hancock. As a financial advisor with ClearPath Financial of Raymond James, we recognize each person, family, or business has a unique financial situation that requires a tailored and strategic approach. We commit our energy, resources, and knowledge to simplify the financial planning process and help clients reach their goals. Finances can be complex, but it doesn't have to feel like brain surgery or a foreign language. We help with things like planning to get you to and through retirement, preserving your wealth, building a legacy, and many more wealth management solutions. Bottom line, you want someone you can trust who's going to put you first to help you break through and reach your financial goals. Come see us for a comprehensive financial review. We're right next to Trinity High School in the heart of St. Matthews at 4070 Westport Road, Louisville, Kentucky. Or call us at 502-805-4000. Raymond James & Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC. I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back, thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529. Office is Louisville.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502-494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
The sounds of summer can often be followed by the sounds of a broken air conditioner. So if you hear your AC unit making some unwanted noises, then call DFH Company today at 968-6222. It could be time for a new train system from DFH. So if you've been thinking of replacing your AC unit, now's the perfect time to call DFH for 12-month special financing on a certified train system. It's hard to stop a train. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility and restrictions, subject to credit approval.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Go to break without Scott Satterfield
doing it again,
getting another recruit, baby. You can't even take a break around here, man.
Don't turn on that YouTube just yet. Hold on.
Did you get that?
Unmute YouTube now.
Did you get that sound I sent you?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Because Jackson Hamilton, Roswell, Georgia, linebacker, pretty good offers.
Let him tell you about it.
Yeah, and he put out a little mini interview from Rivals. It was on Twitter.
He purposely waited till now to this spot of the show.
Yeah,
so he could get his sound.
He put out a little thing there. So and this is Jackson Hamilton, your new recruit.
Hamilton, 2021 outside linebacker from Roswell, Georgia. I go to Blessed Trinity High School. I committed to the University of Louisville. I chose them over Florida State, Georgia Tech, Kentucky. I chose them because, you know, they did a really great job recruiting me and showing them how much they needed me in their program. And, you know, playing for a great coach like Coach Satterfield is something I want to be a part of. You know, taking the team from 2-10 to 8-5 in just 1 year and establishing that winning program, something I want to be a part of. And them giving me the opportunity to play early and at a high level in the ACC, Power 5, you know, I just had to be a part of something like that. L's up. We here.
How bad does it got to suck right now to be like, if you're in the ACC and you're watching Scott Satterfield and just how he's getting it done. I don't even want to talk about rival school because we're so far past that at this point. Like, it's not comparing Kentucky to Louisville. Like, that's not even the conversation anymore. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, and they're going to go,
hey, the last 2 years, I've been here, and it was, God, we ran on you, and the 1 year we been to with no coach, and it was just so much going on, and we're 2-0 in the last 2 years.
And it's like, yeah, well, that's awesome. Good for you. But, like, do you really look at these two programs right now and not think that Scott Satterfield is going to take his open hand and just spank Mark Stoops? Just pull his pants down. And, Mark, shut up. You want another one?
Especially after you let them kids get away with what they got away with last year.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Oh, it's going to be so beautiful.
No, look, this is so beautiful. This is what we were talking about, man. He's got it rolling. He's got kids coming in left and right with good offers, and the dude can't even get them on campus yet. What would he be doing with no restrictions in recruiting right now? I mean, this guy is looking at Deion Sanders' son right now saying, yeah, dude, we got this other kid in California. So if you want to come, you probably should be making that decision in the next few days. Because if not, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the Calipari. Or the Calipari. The California kid.
6'3".
Yeah, just, so, yeah, dude, it's just, this is awesome. This is great. And they sit back and look, like I said, it's not even
He hits people really hard, too, people.
No, that's what all the guys we've got do. You look down in Georgia, what has been the number one when you put on their film? You're like, dude, they run through people.
They run through people. Yeah.
That was with your Ashton Gelada thing. It was kind of funny. That was one of the things that kind of made me laugh. But,
put the extra. But,
dude, they run through people, man. That's who he's getting. This is when I say they're building a monster.
Like I say,
he's building a monster here.
I say this, the way I say it is endearing, is how I mean to say it. But I'm like, these are some little violent, violent kids,
dude.
Right? Like I said, I mean that as a term of endearment.
Yeah. But I mean, can you imagine what it's like sitting back going, well, I mean, I think we got a good team and we're going to win probably 5-6 games over here. We have a great season, win 7-8 games here in Lexington. We got Terry Wilson and some other running back that Cavassier Smoke, and we're going to win a lot of games. Well, that's cool. Well, I mean, do y'all think you can compete with Georgia? Well, no, we probably can't beat Georgia. Probably can't beat Tennessee. I mean, I think we beat Vanderbilt, and we can beat the 3 people that we don't play, or the 3 out of conference teams. So we know we got 3 or 4 wins a year. Don't even talk to me about football anymore. We're not even on the same planet right now. Not even on the same planet, Marcus. He's getting it done, dude.
You pluck him out of St. Louis, keep him out of Penn State's hands.
A 6'3" receiver. Look at this, man. We're getting it done. He's getting it done. Look, he's year 2, and they're the clear-cut number 2 pick in the Atlantic. People got to pick top 4 in the entire ACC. In the conference. And he just keeps landing kids like this. He's got a 4-star down in Tennessee right now, Prince Coley. You got a kid in Tennessee that's a 4-star that's looking, well, it's Louisville Notre Dame. Right now, Louisville leads. And the dude's got recruiting restrictions. Not NCAA-wise, but with the coronavirus.
Right.
Y'all don't think he can't win? Please. Y'all better pay that man.
You go straight to paying that man.
Y'all better pay
while we're at it too.
Y'all better pay that man, pay that staff. Y'all need
Ledford needs to be like Venables, man. Let's just get him
know.
on a salary that kind of is out, puts him out of range for some other head coaching jobs.
I know. I'm serious, man. You got something special with him.
Satterfield's awesome.
You need to keep it.
He has a good eye.
I know.
Amazing.
You need to be loyal to him early.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, pay that man.
I'm telling you.
Pay that man before Ledford even. Pay him.
I know.
How many guys is he gonna get off of Last Chance U?
I don't know.
You excited about that?
Yeah, I love Last Chance.
He's gonna get one diamond in the rough off there.
I'm less excited about it this year.
Why?
Just because everything. I don't really care as much.
Elaborate.
I don't know. For one, they went out to California. And I'm kind of like,
oh, you like the South, the dirty South ones.
Yeah, I don't really care. But I thought I wouldn't care when they moved from East Mississippi to Independence.
My dad's really into that. I tell you, he went to one of the schools just to go see the school.
No, that's pretty awesome though.
Yeah, like it was, I forget which one. Wait, where'd they move to? What was the first move they made?
East Mississippi. And then they went to Independence in Iowa, I think.
Okay, well, it was East Mississippi then. My dad just got in the car and said, I'm going to the campus right now.
It's awesome.
Right, just hung out and kicked and saw the facilities. And That must bring stuff down. But you said now they're in California. Is it gonna be just a different vibe to it or something?
Yeah, I don't know. And now they're expanding it so much. Now there's a basketball one, which I think's cool, but there's the cheerleading one, a basketball one, a football one.
There's gonna be a Last Chance U basketball.
And they said this is like the final season of the football, so it's like
because it's like how many times, you know what that reminds me of? Kind of how they did with the draft, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, how many sad stories do y'all have up your sleeve?
I know. And I looked at like the offers. I look ahead at the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at these rosters and these kids out in California, and I'm like, no.
This is not good. Yeah.
Like, I want to see the
those
Ole
aren't
Miss
going to be. Yeah, those are
the-
not going to be dudes you're worried about seeing on your television.
Yeah, the Auburn commit. You were able to watch Last Chance U and then follow John Franklin at Auburn, and then follow. I mean, you'll be playing. I remember we played Mississippi State, and the defensive lineman was the one that sang and stuff, and it was like, oh yeah,
that's him,
it's
right?
the lineman, yeah. Like so, yeah. I'm just. It just don't. I don't know. Y'all shouldn't have started in Mississippi.
Because you set the bar too high.
Independence was good too, because Independence and Garden City and places like that, that's a hotbed too. They're in the Midwest, so that worked out because you had. I mean, Independence last year. I mean, you had the number one junior college player in the country that went to Georgia. On that team, on that show. That's cool. Like, I'm okay with it. But this one, I'm just like, I don't know how in California. Well, I mean, this kid's going to Utah, and you're like, oh. Yeah, cool. And it's a total different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one will have more of a, what way can I say this? It will have more of a.
Is it getting too professional?
I'll be honest. I'm going to say this and you clean it up if I say it wrong. I like more of these guys grew up poverty in the South, more. Like
more hardcore. Listen, your hardcore football base is Southern.
Yeah.
When you start there, you get purist football, super purist.
California is going to be more. The only way I know how to say it,
businessy,
gang related ish.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I've watched the trailer and watched some things about it, so it's going to be more. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it'll be different.
Which, and again, I don't. That doesn't translate for race or anything. I mean, but it's more in California.
That's the conversation.
The conversation is
gang,
blood, crip, whatever, stuff like that. And it's like I kind of like the hardcore. Man, is all we did was play football because man, we didn't have anything. And like they go back to some of these guys' homes, and you're like, dude,
it's either make it or that.
Yeah, like they last year it was one of maybe the Independence. It might have been the East Mississippi, but they went back to the guy's home, and it was like it was a trailer park. Not that there's anything wrong with trailer parks, but this one in particular, it was just dirt roads, and like they were like, yeah, the floor really wasn't even, it was like, and it was like, dude, and you started to root so hard for this kid, you're like, I want this kid to make it, man, and stuff. So it's like. Yeah, man. I don't know. I like that
like,
more.
Yeah, you're unfamiliar with the Cali politics of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a different world. It's a totally different world in Mississippi or the Southeast than it is in California. It's different. So I don't know. California-ish sports though just don't do it for me.
Parents mad at you right now.
I know. Well, no, I mean I like the Lakers.
But again, everybody knows like they always got so many options in sports that, it's not okay, put it this way. What's the little one I'm always sending you clips of For The Ville, Carroll City, you know what I'm saying? Like you can have 12 and under fully packed high school stadiums watching 12 and under Tutu Atwell play for
Miami Northwest.
The other ones when he was younger.
Liberty.
Yeah,
Liberty City.
Liberty City. Like those, you have full on packed kids games gambling out there in Florida. You don't have that in California.
No.
It's not that.
It's a pro area.
Yeah, man. Right. So yeah,
I mean USC and UCLA are in the city, and it's like, yeah, cool. What's the Lakers doing?
Right.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, if those teams are good, the city will rally around them. But it's just not that same like.
Yeah,
you
you
live
like
for
said,
this.
Yeah, you have just too many sports.
And I watch All American and the different ones that are based out in California, and you remember it's just like, it's just a different world.
Right.
I love California though.
Are we gonna act like Jake Weingarten didn't just people? Brian Hall will have
He was awesome.
Brian Hall will have the podcast up on ESPNLouisville.com if you're just now tuning in. At the second hour, the 11 o'clock hour, we brought Jake Weingarten in. He is one of the most informed human beings on the planet. And he just so happens to be a day one friend of this show and drops in. And I'm telling you, he will educate you almost as well as us. But no, it's a great, great interview. I'm also going to clip it up on YouTube. I'll share it, a little later on. I think we joined it a couple seconds late. Thank you for reminding me to turn on the sound. Are we going to act like he didn't just tell you that Jalen Withers basically is still growing?
Yeah, how about that?
And don't be surprised at anything you get out of Jalen Withers.
I know.
And behind Dwayne Sutton, he might have been the best defender on the team.
I know. How about that, man?
He kept saying he was 6'10". I'm still going to say 6'9".
Yeah.
But if he's 6'9", it's a lot bigger than 6'8" and 6'7", and he came in here kind of with the 6'7" look to him.
Man, I don't know, but that conversation was exciting, man. And again, I mean, this is a guy, Jake, I mean, he actually talks to these kids like on a daily basis. He hangs out with them. It's like this is somebody who knows.
I totally understood what he said when he was talking about Aiden and Gahan getting stronger. He's like, there's a difference between muscles and playing, getting your butt lower and playing with, with a stronger base and,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't move people with your arms. You move people with, kind of with your rear end.
Yeah.
And recruiting seems to be going very, very well.
Good, man.
And notice how many times he said, "Listen, if you're Coach Mack," and he said, "Listen, you coach clean, you coach clean.
Absolutely.
I recruit clean, I coach clean, I bring them in, clean."
Yes.
He says, shout out to the guys and the way they recruit each other.
Yeah,
is an advantage that seems to be, something that shows under Mack. People, you want to go back and listen to that. Even if you heard it, ESPNLouisville.com, go to the 93.9 page, tab podcast, Middays with Marcus Maben, second hour. Brian will have that there for you.
No, he was good, man.
Any more shout outs you want to give before we get on that?
Yeah, let me do real quick because since we're covering all sports, let me cover all of our favorite sport.
You try. You try to make a smooth transition.
Tried. Golf is here. That's right. Another full weekend of golf ahead of us. And even though the trophy isn't reserved for the winner, or is reserved for the winner, the big cash winnings don't have to be. To add to the excitement, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting you in the center of the action with a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Don't worry. If you weren't able to take advantage of last weekend's tournament, that action on the course continues, and DraftKings Sportsbook is the place to get all of your bets for this weekend's tournament. Plus, DraftKings Sportsbook is safe, securable, and reliable.